Where are we?
Well, we're in front of a coffee place, but it's not open yet.
Oh no.
Oh no, bad day.
What is up, guys? Good morning.
We're in Ecuador.
We're in Ecuador.
Why not? Because I had this for my country project.
In what grade?
Fourth.
Fourth grade.
And everyone had like really cool countries that you knew all about, and no one knew anything about Ecuador.
She got Ecuador.
And even my dad was like, "Where is that?"
Well, we're here now.
And I did a great job on that project, and I learned a lot, and I thought it was really cool.
Well, now we're in Ecuador.
And I always wanted to go, so we're freaking here, and it's cold.
It's freezing. We're at like 9,000 feet elevation. It's cold, and we're about to go climb Cotopaxi, which is 18,000 feet. Day one, starting off the adventure right. So we arrived super late last night. Really vlog much because we were just trying to figure out the city. It was kind of crazy. We got in at 9 because our flight was 3 hours late. We got here at like 11 because it was a 45-minute drive after everything. It was crazy. I hate arriving to places super late because you have no grounding of where you're at. The maps was taking us through this crazy... The maps kept trying to take us through these crazy neighborhoods. It looked really sketchy, but you know, it is what it is. We're here, we made it. And now we're gonna go hike and bike the tallest volcano around here. Our adventure to climb Cotopaxi with ECUADOR begins here in Quito. Quito is Ecuador's capital, sitting at 2,850 meters or 9,350 feet of elevation. This city is right in the middle of what's called the Avenue of the Volcanoes. Cotopaxi is one of those volcanoes, and it's still active. As our tour bus drove up the steep walls of the valley, we got a picturesque view of the entire city below. We've never seen any place quite like this. From the ridge, we started our journey to the volcano, and as we turned the corner, we got our first sneak peek of Cotopaxi in the distance. All right, so our first stop is a house on the way to Cotopaxi. We're getting breakfast, and we're also getting some coca tea. If you don't know what coca tea is, it helps with altitude, but it's not something you can get in a lot of places. You get it down here in South America, especially like here, Peru. It's made from coca leaves. But alpaca. Need I say more? Alpaca. After getting energized with some delicious coca tea, we got on the road and continued the journey. Eventually the trees disappeared, and what we were left with was a barren landscape that is dominated by Cotopaxi. We just got to 13,000 feet. We're still driving up higher. From here, we're gonna hike about an hour to a refuge, and then hike back and bike all the way back down to where we started. So mountain biking, hiking, doing all that good stuff. It is getting cold, and the altitude is getting up there. I'm appreciating it right.
Right? Are you serious?
Yeah. We just got to our stopping point with the bus. We're at like 15,000 feet, and we're climbing all the way up there to the refuge. You can actually see it in the distance, but it's a lot further than you think it is. You can feel the altitude as soon as you get up here, and it's crazy windy. So I've got 3 layers on. I've got my parka, 2 base layers, and it's still cold. We left the tour bus in the parking lot at 15,000 feet. Just as a comparison, the highest mountain in the continental US is 14,500 feet, and we're starting our hike 500 feet above that. You can imagine how hard it is to move at this altitude, especially with the wind and cold beating down on you. Our guide split us off from the main trail, and we took an alternate route to the refuge. It was longer, but definitely worth it. As we climbed, Cotopaxi's icy face emerged from the clouds. We got to the highest point that we're gonna climb. We're at the refuge right here. Woo! Woohoo! We made it this far. We just got out of the wind, so that's... Woo! How do you feel, Rach?
Awesome. Let's do another one. Let's keep going.
That's crazy.
Can we ice climb now?
So
I have to pee.
So when you're hiking at altitude like this, each step feels like you're carrying a 10-pound brick on your feet. It's because you have very little oxygen, so it's tough. And if you aren't recirculating your oxygen and bringing more oxygen in, you start to get dizzy, you start to get headaches, and then on top of it, it's cold. This is a cool place to see. And we're standing at the base of one of Ecuador's largest volcanoes. Hopefully in the next year, I'll be climbing that with my buddy Carlos. You made it to the top.
Yes. Now it's time for some hot chocolate and cocoa tea.
The Cotopaxi refuge sits at 15,700 feet, just below the snow and ice line. Here at the refuge, climbers will stay the night before their journey to the peak. The climb to the summit will take about 6 hours, and the climbers will finish at an astounding 19,347 feet. It's a really high climb. Our hike to the refuge took us about an hour from the parking lot, and here we get a chance to sit down, relax, and enjoy the views before making our way back down. The next thing we're doing is jumping on mountain bikes. That's the whole valley that we drove up. Behind me is the refuge where people sleep up there before they make the trek up to Cotopaxi. Now we're gonna start making the trek back down, go do some mountain biking. Definitely feeling the altitude up here, but found a nice little calm spot away from the wind. Super cool to be up here, be at this altitude, and be able to hike up here. And fell on my butt. Slipped. So you just climbed a peak taller than any peak I've ever climbed.
One of the coolest things we've ever done, for sure.
So are you gonna climb a mountain with me and maybe in ice and snow?
I'm still thinking about the hot chocolate. That was beautiful. Okay, yeah, maybe actually.
Maybe put on some crampons.
Yeah.
Get in the ice and snow.
It's just like this, right?
It's just like this, but you have ice and snow.
So there's not as much dust because you're in snow.
That's helpful.
Well, actually, I hate the cold. No, I won't do it.
So they're telling us 1 out of 7 days the mountain comes out like this, and it is pretty. So it's a rare treat that we got to see it like this.
It's a volcano.
Yeah, it's a volcano. So for the last 15 months, it's been closed for climbing because of the activity on the mountain. But they're saying that come August,
Still worth it.
they might open it back up. So hopefully, by the time I want to come back and climb, it's back open.
Be careful, be careful, be careful. God.
All right, the second part of this tour is riding bikes down this really sketchy road.
We're biking.
We're biking.
Woo. The quicker we get down, the quicker you can pee.
All right, I gotta put the camera down because it is time to get on the bikes and start riding. This is like ridiculously cold and it's raining now. Oh man, talk about a change in weather. After a long, cold, and extremely fun descent into the valley, we ended the tour for the day. From here, we jumped back on the tour bus and enjoyed our lunch with some llamas and alpacas before heading back to Quito. All right, we just got dropped off here in Quito. How was the adventure today?
Amazing.
It was amazing. It was a really cool adventure. We're exhausted
I just had
though.
a weird beer.
We just stopped off in like the hostel area
Careful,
of
you're
Quito
setting
and had a beer, chilled. It seems like a cool area to come check out later. Everything's closed. It looks like it's
Sunday.
major nightlife. It's also Sunday, so there might be a lot of things closed because it's Sunday, but
We're gonna shower.
we're exhausted. It was a long day. It was a lot of altitude. What is up, guys? Good morning. We're here in Ecuador. It is the afternoon. We kind of did a little gym sesh this morning, got a little breakfast. But today, we're either gonna explore the city or go hiking. I think we decided on hiking. There's a big mountain right there. It goes up to like 15,000 feet. You take a tram, and then you can hike all around the mountain up at the top. So I think we're doing that. Check out this view. This is what we're waking up to every morning. This city is awesome. It's so cool. We've only been here for like 24 hours plus some. We haven't had a chance to go explore yet. There's a lot to go see here. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the downtown area. There's a few others in other parts of the country, so hopefully we get a chance to go explore some of these areas. We have a lot of stuff planned for the next couple weeks. It's just go, 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 boom, boom. So today's a full day here in Quito. Tomorrow we're driving to Tena, which is another town 3 hours away from here.
What do you call it?
Tena.
Yes, good.
So, Rach, you want to show them the room?
Look at there's a giraffe in the window.
What?
What
Oh,
cool
there
hair.
is a giraffe.
No.
All right,
This is amazing. Let's go.
we gotta go drive the streets. This is gonna be interesting. Adventure Girl's getting ready. Yeah? Get it ready. You ready for an adventure?
I'm driving through the city. It's going to be an adventure.
All right, it already looks much busier than yesterday. Yesterday it was so dead here, and now it's like an active, bustling city. This place was completely shut down on Sundays. We're getting our car and we're gonna go brave the streets. We've heard it gets pretty crazy in Quito.
This is a curb. Where'd it come from? It's just...
Okay, so just got into our Chevy Spark. So we got a Spark for this trip, a nice blue little Spark. Let's go. All right, we're going. It should have only taken about 15 minutes to get from our hotel to the cable car called Telefrico. However, after an hour of trying to figure out the streets and battling traffic, we finally made it. All right, we just drove up to this tram car that we're gonna take to the top of the mountain. And I'm... Lock now? Okay, open it, lock it. No, open it, lock it. Now close it. All right, so we figured out how to lock the car finally. You have to close the doors and actually use your key to lock it and then turn on the alarm. It's not as intuitive as you'd think it is. But we just did the drive from our hotel, which was way down there somewhere in Quito, to here. And I've driven in a lot of countries and I've never experienced that. We've almost gotten crashed multiple times. The GPS kept taking us to these roads that just didn't exist. We'd be driving, we'd get to a road and there just wouldn't be a road and it'd be a one-way the other direction. It was absolutely insanity. So word of advice, if you're not comfortable driving in insane streets, do not drive in Quito, Ecuador. It's a lot. Once we parked, there was a single security guard who didn't say a word to us. We started walking around the group of abandoned buildings and found a strange amusement park with only a few people on rides. It was the Volcano Park. Don't really know what we just walked into. It's kind of creepy. There's no one here.
It's hilarious.
If there's a theme park, this whole thing is bizarre. But we just got more and more hills to climb. Ah, man. Being at elevation like this is crazy. But there's a cable car up here. And the cable car is where we want to get. How's the elevation treating you? At the top of the hill, we finally found Telefrico. But again, it was in the middle of a bunch of abandoned buildings. It looked like the whole area was built for a large number of tourists, but they just never showed up. So we bought our ticket and jumped in line with a few other people that were there. And we were all curious what we're gonna find at the top of Telefrico. All right, we just got to the top and we're like 13,000 feet up here. You gotta see this view. Everywhere you go, there's always a dog hanging out, just chilling. In case you're a little light on oxygen up here. The view from the top of the cable car is amazing, but the area was also filled with seemingly abandoned buildings. There's a few vendors selling snacks, some trinkets, but not much else. So we left the cable car area and decided to start hiking towards the active volcano in the distance. We're in the avenue of volcanoes. So like Cotopaxi, there's the other big one, and then there's all these which are smaller. By smaller, they mean like 14,000, 15,000 feet, so still massive. How you feeling?
Wow, we're going up that. I'm gonna tighten up.
After about 5 minutes of hiking, we stumbled upon a bunch of horses. We had no idea these were up here. Hey look, it's your new best friend.
Yeah, but these are like the prettiest horses I've ever seen. These are altitude horses.
These horses are awesome. We had no idea this was up here. Nay! Okay, to take a horse, it was 20 bucks for 2 hours and they take you to the top, or it was 10 bucks for like 45 minutes. We're gonna get some exercise in, climbing on our own. You know what, we might take a horse. That actually sounds like fun, to go take a horse around up here. We might have to. This elevation kicks your butt. It's unreal. Instagram story game strong. This is so cool up here. I think we are turning around. It looks like a big rain cloud is coming in on the forecast. It did say rain. So up there, maybe we will not go all the way. Have to come back and climb this another day. I am climbing some of the volcanoes around here with Carlos. Soon, you'll see him in like a couple weeks because we're climbing some mountains up in Washington, but we'll be back. We'll climb that for a day. You can't see it, it's shrouded by clouds, but that's one of them we're gonna be climbing. It's a big volcano. Cotopaxi is out there. Another one we'll be climbing, so we'll be all over this region. The views up here are insane. So this entire valley is Quito. Not sure where it starts and ends. There's probably some other cities in this region, but it's massive. And you can see all of this is above 9,000 feet because Quito sits around 9,000 feet. It's one of the tallest capitals. It might even be the tallest capital in the world, which this is perfect for me to come hang out because I'm climbing in like 2 weeks. The tallest mountain I'm climbing in Washington is sitting around 9,000, 9,500 feet. So you can imagine that coming up to altitude like this is gonna help a lot when I'm actually on that climb. We made our way back down to where we found the horses and decided that we just had to do it. However, the temperature has definitely dropped and it looks like it's about to start raining. So we decided that we were gonna do a shorter horse tour, about 45 minutes, which only cost us $20 for 2 horses for both of us. The locals gave us no instruction, just showed us how to get up, and then we were off. We had no idea that, you could ride horses up here. This is a really cool experience.
Yeah.
We've been in Ecuador for less than 2 days, and already we've had like one of the most amazing trips with all the stuff that we've done so far. This is a pretty cool place to explore. As we started our journey into the hills, a few dogs decided to join us and followed along the entire trip into the tall grass, chasing bunnies. We had a guide with us the entire time who spoke zero English and basically was there just to make sure that the horses stayed on track. At one point, the horse didn't want to hang out with the guide anymore, and mine took off to go eat some grass down the hill. Our guide came running through the brush with the dogs, holding onto Rachel's horse, trying to keep us all together. It was quite an experience. Our horses took us through the valley and up to a viewpoint where we got an awesome view of the volcano before turning back. I didn't realize how long this horse was gonna go. I mean, we went all the way out, got a nice view of the volcano, hung out with the dogs. They're just hanging out with us. And then the trail basically goes around this entire valley here. It takes the whole valley, and the horse just kind of takes you along. Now we're hiking up to the ridgeline. We'll come right down to where we started. We finished up the tour with an epic view of all of Quito as we came down a very steep hill. Both of us were extremely tired after we got off the horses, and we started heading back towards the cable car to get back down into the city. Dogs just pop out of the bushes everywhere. When we were doing that horse ride, they would see a rabbit and they would just dart for it and be like jumping. Couldn't get a shot of it. It was so cool to see though. Ecuador is really turning out to be a pretty adventurous place to travel for sure. We could see Cotopaxi in the distance. It is massive. There's clouds covering right at the snow line. So we're hoping before we get off this peak here that it will clear off a little more, but pretty amazing view. If this was a clear day, you'd be able to see volcanoes all around, ending at Cotopaxi, way out there. From the top of Cotopaxi, when it's a clear day, completely clear, you could see pretty much all of Ecuador, all the way down to the coastline, all of the mountains in the Andes. It's really wild.
We spent under $40 today, and we rode the cable car, rode horses, hiked to a volcano, had amazing tamales and coffee, and we're venturing for more now.
When we heard about the cable car, all we heard was like a hike and it was hard. We didn't realize that there's like so much up here, and the horses, there's mountain biking too. Like, this is crazy. And
I think you can mountain bike to the bottom.
Yeah, there's like some crazy downhill mountain bike, and you pay like, we saw that you could pay $8 for the mountain bike, but we didn't understand what you do. It's just one of those things you don't really hear. Like, we never heard about any of this when we were doing our research for Quito. Like, people mentioned coming up here to see the views, but like, this is a cool experience for sure.
On our way down the cable car, Cotopaxi started coming out of the clouds.
It just stopped and the whole thing is swaying. It's so...
Stop moving!
Oh!
What's wrong with you?
We need to start moving.
Sit still!
I had a few minutes, so I pulled out my drone and wanted to get one last shot of Cotopaxi in the distance. As I did, a group of local kids started running up and wanted to see what the drone was all about. So we hung out, flew the drone for a little bit, and the locals got a chance to see our little drone in action.
This whole area up here, like next to the cable car, is very like creepy. It's very like post-apocalyptic zombie. Like the escalators are broken, so they just kind of wall them off, and then like there's all these buildings that are just empty and there's nothing in them. But it seems like this used to be like a big tourist kind of place to go. There's nothing left besides like the few people working at the cable car. It's kind of weird. You want to go to the volcano park?
No.
No? All the locals like jumped around and wanted to watch me
We
fly
asked the
Spark.
security guard if it was okay
Yeah.
to fly. He's like, yes, it's
It was great. Yeah,
And
like personally, I like to ask for permission, especially places like this if there's security, because if there is an issue, the security guy said that it was okay, and he's standing over my shoulder and he wanted to see it. So, but that was really cool. Although my Spark disconnected and I had no idea what happened.
the heck?
It just said disconnected, never connected, but it came back and landed. So at least I know the go to home works. Okay, now we got to brave the streets and get back to our hotel. I'm not driving anymore. I just got to get back, put this car in the valet, and be done.
The monkey grabbed my purse.
Oh, that's the monkey purse?
Yeah.
Monkey grabbed that purse.
Ripped it. See,
That was a while ago.
this is a dirty purse.
It's been old.
Yeah,
It's the perfect adventure
it's my
purse.
adventure purse. It's my purse I can toss
So
around.
we just got cleaned up. Now we're headed out to dinner to
How'd
go
you
explore
see
the
that?
old city. I don't know. We were at 14,000 feet walking in the sun. I put sunscreen on.
You guys are-
I'm not driving. It's dark.
Yeah, we
Taxi
were driving
time.
the car. Perfect.
Perfect.
It's not very expensive one. They're the other ones that were very expensive.
That's great.
Hello, Julio.
So our taxi driver gave us a suggestion to come to this place called something Hermosa, which is like a rooftop view of the entire city. This is amazing.
Super lucked out. Good job. Okay.
Couldn't ask for a better view to see the city.
And the food's probably amazing here. Oh my gosh, this is like the best. I don't see anywhere else that you see this view.
No. So we just left dinner. It was pretty awesome. Probably one of the best views of the city. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
That
awesome.
amazing. Vista
We-
Hermosa.
Vista Hermosa. But
Beautiful view.
from up there, we looked and there was like no other restaurants like that. So we were 1 block away from Plaza Grande. So that's where we're at now. This is like one of the things you have to see here in Quito.
The rest of our night was spent wandering down the streets before heading back to the hotel. Tomorrow we're leaving Quito and we're headed to the Amazon jungle. Okay, I think we seriously walked into a horror film here.
Yeah.
Like, this is the creepiest hotel we've ever stayed in.
I hope you don't show up. Do you think there's other people?
There's no one around. What is up, guys? Good morning. Today's a travel day, but not like travel to another country travel day. Today's like travel, like driving across this country. So we're going from Quito to Tena, which is a 3-hour drive. Hopefully the streets are not like they are here in Quito, because Quito is insane. I think once we get on the highway, we'll be fine. We're getting to Tena, and then we're going to be doing some outdoor adventure, whitewater rafting, all the cool stuff there. But we have to get there first.
Supposed to indoor adventures?
Quito was cool. We have to come back. We didn't really get to see the city. We like saw it at night, and that was very quick. And we jumped in a cab and came back. But
Okay,
we have to.
2 trips.
So our plan is after Tena, we're going to Banos, and then from Banos we'll come back to Quito, and we're gonna have some more time to explore the city. So we'll do it then. But we gotta check out our hotel, and get on the road, and start moving. This is gonna be an adventure. So everyone has told us that this drive is 5 hours. That is ridiculous. We put it into Google Maps and it says 3 hours. So we're gonna see who's right. Google Maps is right, or if, you know, all the locals are right. I mean, it might be 5 hours. I don't know. We left our hotel and followed Google Maps through Quito. The issue is that Google Maps thinks that roads exist where there is no road. Google Maps was also constantly trying to put us the wrong way on one-ways. However, after about an hour of driving through the steep cliffs of Quito, we finally made it to the highway and started our journey towards Tena. The road to Tena takes you up to an astounding 13,000 feet. As the road kept climbing, we could feel the altitude take its toll. At the top, on a clear day, you get an impressive view of the tallest volcano in Ecuador. But unfortunately today, it was pouring down rain and cloudy. All right, so we just got off the 4-lane highway, which was amazing. It was like a nice highway all the way through the mountains. We climbed up to 13,000 feet, which is insane. We were up at 13,000 feet. We passed the massive volcano, and then we ended up in the Amazon. So now we're in the Amazon following a chicken truck. That's the chicken truck.
2 hours left.
As soon as we got the chance, we passed the chicken truck. We were getting showered with chicken feathers. As we descended from the volcano, the trees became thick and the environment changed completely. We were definitely in the jungle now, high in the Andes. The road turned into a windy 2-lane highway that twisted and turned all around the Andes. As we got into the afternoon, we finally came out of the mountains, and the endless sea of green was ahead of us. We made it to the Amazon, and we had no idea what we were about to walk into. All right, we just pulled up to our hotel. I was like, okay, yeah, it was a 5.5 hour drive to get here. It's pretty crazy. The road said it was 3 hours, but it was like snaking and winding through the craziest roads, and like half of them ended up being one lane because the road had collapsed, and it was insanity. But we just got to our hotel, and like we pulled up to the entrance, and it was like super creepy. I mean, like really weird. I'm gonna have to show you this hotel. Rachel, we finally found someone that works here. She's up checking with the room to see what the room looks like. I don't know if we're staying here yet. This is interesting, I'll tell you that. We looked at the photos of this place, this hotel, and they look amazing. And you come here, everything is all dilapidated. Half of the hotel is completely broken down.
Weird.
I'm gonna go explore it because this is ridiculous.
We're gonna make a movie. Okay, we need some Wi-Fi and we're gonna get food.
We have no idea where we're gonna get food. Like it's weird. They said there's a pond. Do you see that out there? See that pond? You could go sport fishing.
Ugh, it's not the right password. Come on.
It's like weirdly green. Ugh.
Here.
Cool.
That's weird. That's really weird. Please look at it. Look at the iguana.
Where? Oh wow.
Wow.
That was a big iguana.
This is great.
Wait, we found the gym?
Yeah.
Oh man, we found the gym.
Babe, you got a bar?
Oh man. Look at this.
Best part, there's no cables on the machine.
Hold on.
Can't use it. Oh! Come on.
Rach, you can box.
With what? Bare knuckle? Okay, come on. There's dumbbells.
Okay, so this 5-star resort also has a basketball court and a volleyball court. I think we found where we're gonna stay tonight.
As we explored the resort, we found the remains of what seemed like a nice 5-star experience. However, we were alone with one person working at the front desk. All the amenities that are shown online don't exist, and as the sun began to set, we realized that we were stuck here for the night.
Okay, this is one of the creepiest, weirdest hotels. I don't even know what to say. This is straight out of like a horror film. Completely abandoned. Almost everything in here is completely abandoned. I've been alone in this hotel this entire afternoon. People just showed up. We just heard a couple of people. So it feels a little bit safer now that there's some people here. Because being alone in a hotel like this is just, it's creepy, it's ghostly, I don't know. But Rachel just found out we have no hot water, so that's the added bonus right at the end. But you know, it is what it is. We're here to do rafting in Tena. But rafting is supposed to be the best in South America, which is why we wanted to come here. So we're not going to let this whole situation should make everything bad. Just it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. We had a decent hotel last night. Tonight, I don't know. Might get bit by something. Alright guys, that's it. Good night. See you tomorrow. This has been an adventure. It continues to be an adventure. We have a lot more in Ecuador, so stay tuned. What is up, guys? Good morning.
We're here with Rios, Ecuador. We're about to do the Huacanyacu River. It's a class 3 river here in Ecuador.
We came to Tena because this is the area that has the best whitewater rafting in all of South America. So we're pretty excited about this adventure.
I heard the water comes from the Cotopaxi volcano, which is where we just climbed.
Which means it's going to be freezing because that is like the glaciers melting, coming down. But this river, we can see it right here. The river looks insane. I'm pretty excited.
Oh my gosh.
This is going to be fun. And along the way, So we're doing all these rapids, but halfway we eat lunch with like a local tribe. You know, we're in the Amazon. We are deep in the jungle, like deep in the jungle. We're in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our day with Rios, Ecuador started deep in the jungle outside Tena. We made our way past some local villages and down a mud road to the entrance of the river. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but today we're going down the Jondishi River with the class 3 and 4 rapids. We met our guides and went over the safety procedures. Everything that you need to know when you're whitewater rafting, especially on this river. Throughout the whole spiel, we could hear the power of the river in the distance. And all of us were getting very excited.
The water is 40 degrees. This is going to be absolutely crazy. Like, so the water, since it's coming off of Cotopaxi, it's super chilly. 40. That is really cold. I don't know. This is going to be an adventure. So we have 3 boats. Rachel is jumping in the boat with the girls, and then they actually put me in a boat with 2. So this is going to be kind of crazy. Rach, you ready?
Rachel and I split up for this adventure. She went on a raft, and I went on a 2-person kayak. Our plan is to find spots along the shore and get some awesome footage of the rest of the rafts as they come down. There was a feeling of excitement pulsing through everyone as we launched the boats and got started on our journey down the river.
Okay, forward. Okay, here I stop for 5 minutes.
Okay. We just got to our first stop. How was the rapids, Rach?
Rapids.
They're pretty big rapids.
Awesome.
And I'm in this little thing.
Yeah, you're having a great day. I'm
Rachel.
on the boat with the girls that are scared. I love it. Scared.
But it's great. I mean, we did one class 2 and then one class 3. And class 3 was massive. I mean,
Oh, they told you what it
Yeah.
was? We just went for it.
we just went for it. I mean, there was one in particular. We're not even halfway point, because halfway is where we're meeting up, having lunch, doing all that. So we're just at a little taking a break. War paint. You're going to war. Start walking off into the jungle because we have a couple minutes. This is so cool. I mean, we are in the Amazon. There's people living out here. Like, this is one stop off, yes, but there's a little house up there, a little one across the way. So there's people that live all on this river. The guy that I'm with in my boat, he's actually a local here from Tena. His family still lives out in the Amazon. You know, they're still the indigenous people out there. So cool glimpse into a different world for sure.
After our short break, we got back into the raft and continued down the river. Our trip is just beginning. From here, the rapids got even bigger. Our next stop down the river is one of the local villages.
Alright, so we're taking a break. We are about halfway done with the trip. We stopped at one of the indigenous towns here alongside the river, so we're gonna have lunch. But first, looks like we're playing some games. Cool. And then from there, we continue on. We still have another half a day of rafting. This is crazy. These rapids are so much fun.
make the burrito too big.
You always make your burrito too big.
There's no burrito that's too big. I don't know. This one. Water, please.
Water?
Lunch was awesome. Burritos, can't beat that. Now we're jumping back in the river. Gonna keep going downstream. After lunch, we still had over half of the river to explore. We continued down the rapids and spent the rest of the day battling the river.
Oh shit! Okay, good. Okay, get in, get in.
Such an awesome day. And to finish it off, they brought a beer.
The beer was definitely a nice touch. It was, those rapids are insane. That was so cool.
Take a picture of me by the boats.
Hold on, you.
It ends up on the other side.
Alright guys, so rafting was insanely cool. Probably one of the coolest experiences we've had whitewater rafting. We just got back to our hotel, getting our spark all filled up because we're moving to the next town. We were only in Tena for a short period of time, but we're out of here. We're moving on. We're going to Banos next. You know, we came to Tena to basically just do the rafting, and you know what? It was an amazing rafting experience. We're going to Banos to do some canyoning, trekking, some other things. Basically from Quito, there's a loop that you can do Banos, Tena, and Quito, and you do all the adventures. So for anyone that's an adventure, outdoor, wants to do cool stuff like rafting, canyoning, all that good stuff, this is the loop, and this is where you should be going to see all these cool places. And Rios, Ecuador, I would highly recommend if you want to do some awesome class 3, 4, 5, they have it all. They explained all the different tours you could do. There's multi-days. There's a lot you can do with Rios, Ecuador. So guys, if you're looking for an awesome rafting experience, maybe multiple day, maybe hanging out rafting throughout a week, come to Ecuador, check out Rios, Ecuador. I'll put a link in the description below. Guys, you gotta go with them because they are top notch. The whole experience was amazing. Rios, Ecuador, guys, hands down, you gotta do it. So now we're jumping in the car, driving to Banos, hopefully get there before the sun sets. That's it guys, I'm gonna end the vlog here today because we're just gonna drive. There's not gonna be that much exciting. It's probably gonna be a pretty drive, but it's just driving. And guys, we will see you on the next one. Tomorrow we're going to Banos. What is up? Good morning. It is another cold and rainy day.
In Banos, Ecuador.
We are in Banos.
Again, day 2. We're here with Imagine Ecuador. We're on day 2 with Imagine Ecuador here in Banos, and we're gonna whitewater raft for the second time on this trip. Different river. I hear it's a little bit warmer.
Warmer?
This time we have wetsuits, and it's
look
even
at
gonna
this
be warmer in
wetsuit.
the water.
Oh look, the party bus. Hey! You know, when you do a tour, it's always great when you are with like a good group. We get to spend another day with this group of people from around the world, and then we get to go river rafting. This is gonna be fun. I love river rafting. It is much colder than yesterday, and we're going in a river.
This is big.
We got this. All right, we gotta get moving. Let's
Vamonos.
Vamonos.
We started our drive down the same canyon as yesterday. However, our destination is a little different. When we arrive at the river, we realize that there's a ton of water flowing through today, but we're still going in.
All right, we just got to the river and it is flowing fast. This is way more intense than the river we did a couple days ago.
As our guides get the boats ready, we get our safety lecture. This time we have to practice different paddling techniques because we're going to be going down a much rougher river than last time.
What's going on is it was raining yesterday, so the water's going a lot faster. This 2-hour tour is going to take an hour. You know me, I get a little scared, but once we get going, I'm good.
After one last look at conditions, our guides signaled us over to the boat and it was time to start this adventure. For the next hour, we held on tight and fought with the raging river as we tried to keep our boats upright. This was a wild ride and a completely different experience than our rafting adventure in Tena. As the rain cleared, we found our ending point, and once again, we're at the mouth of the Amazon jungle.
All right, we just got dropped off from our big rafting adventure.
And you got a shot in the butt?
I got a spider bite. It's just something that is gonna happen here in Ecuador sometimes. So I came back, went straight to the doctor and then the pharmacy and got a shot in my butt. Happens. The rafting was amazing with Imagine Ecuador. It was a lot of fun. We love rafting, and you know, it was a different river than the one we did a few days ago. Different experience, tons of water because all that water was flowing down. It's a lot of fun. Now we drove like 30 minutes from town, had no idea it was gonna be this long, but town's like out there somewhere deep in the valley. It was like 30 minutes up this crazy hill, and we are now at the top at what's called Casa del Arbro, which I'm sure many of you have seen. It's like one of the most Instagrammable spots in this area. A lot of people come take photos. It's a swing on the edge of a cliff. It's pretty cool. So let's go check it out.
On our way up to the swing, we grabbed some corn because we always love street corn. Baños sits at about 6,000 feet elevation, and this area is way above that. You can definitely feel the elevation with every step. After a short hike, we found the famous swing. I'm sure at one point this was a hidden gem of Baños, but now it's a very popular attraction. We had to wait over an hour to get a chance to try it out. You actually are swinging over a cliff, and it is a pretty cool experience. However, you can tell that it's definitely changed because the amount of tourism that has come up here.
Guess this is a little more touristy than I thought it was, but it's still pretty cool. They have the 2 swings on the treehouse, a couple swings over there, and just hanging off a cliff. I mean, the views here are insane. So amazing. And check this out, the clouds are starting to come.
This for sure is a must-see, but just remember that it's not a secret anymore. After we finally got our chance to swing, we hightailed it out of there just as the rain started coming down. We ran to the car, but stopped because we couldn't pass up another chance to try some street food.
So I just got a grilled plantain, I think, with cheese, served in the plantain wrapper, or the peel, as you would call it. That's different. I don't know what to say about that. I would never think to put cheese in a plantain like that. All right, we're back to our little spark.
I'll go behind
Okay, second opinion. The cheese is odd. Don't like it. How about your opinion?
No.
No? Cheese plantain?
No.
Could be
What
better
do you
with.
guys think?
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Not so good.
The most annoying thing about this little car, the Spark, is that you have to hand lock everything with the key. And if you close the door and lock it from the inside, it pops back up. So you have to go through each door, lock it with the key, and then you have to set the alarm. So when it's raining like this, it's always fun to have to sit there and lock. And then to open the trunk, you have to use the key to open it. So Rachel took off a while ago to escape the rain. I was still locking up. Okay, that is one of the weirdest garbage trucks I've ever seen. It has the music of an ice cream truck, but it's for the garbage truck. That's something we keep noticing here in Ecuador. The garbage trucks have ice cream music. Maybe it's so you get your attention, so you come outside and bring the trash. I don't know.
Then people don't leave trash bags on the side all day.
It's good because people aren't leaving trash on the side because they know that the trash man's coming. How's it look? So we're hunting for food right now. We're on a little food journey. What's good about this town in Baños, there's actually places to walk around and go explore. When we were in Tena, it didn't feel like a city that you could really walk around and just find a restaurant. So there's a lot more options here.
Do you guys think it's rude that I have the umbrella and Jeven has nothing?
Yeah, she decided to take the umbrella.
You didn't bring one.
That's okay. I have my jacket. Here, let me put on my... It's definitely wet.
2 jackets and an umbrella and waterproof shoes.
She's got a lot going on. I just have the jacket.
I'm using my umbrella now.
It's pretty here though, especially, you know, obviously during the day it's really pretty, but at night it is too. Everything's lit up. They even have like the big waterfall lit up at night, which is really cool to see, and that's right outside our hotel. Guys, today was an eventful day. We did river rafting.
You got shot in the ass.
Went to the doctors because of a spider bite. Swung on the swing.
Shot in the ass.
And then we went and just met up with a new friend of ours. Well, we met with multiple friends. This town's so small, we've run into the same people over and over and over. We have like a few couples that now we're like friends with. There's one guy that we met that's riding his bike all the way through South America, which is crazy.
Loco.
We met some other friends that are using a car and doing the exact same thing. Also met a local here who moved here from California, and tomorrow we're gonna shoot a little mini doc with him. And you know, that's one of the things we do when we're on the road. We look for good stories to shoot some documentary content on. So the guy's from Atlanta, but he moved to California, drove his car down here. Car got stuck in Ecuador. He stayed, now he's here in Baños. And he's the only guy that brews his own beer. So he is like the beer brewer to do craft beer in this entire town. So he's a pretty cool story. We're gonna go hang out with him tomorrow. We've been getting beers from him every night, so. We have some friends that we met from New York. They're awesome. They've been on the tours with us the last couple tours. The rafting and the canyoning, you've seen them. They've been on camera. It's been a great evening, afternoon, day, etc., etc. All right, so tomorrow, no more tours. We've done 3 days of tours, and doing those kind of tours is a lot. I mean, they're fun, but sometimes you just want to go and explore on your own. So the next few days, we're going and exploring on our own, creating some cool content. All right, that's it. Subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.
Jeven got shot in the ass.
Hey guys, what is going on? So this is our first day where we're not doing some sort of tour. We're just going and exploring on our own. So this trip in Ecuador, we've been going like tour, which is tons of fun. There's something to just going and exploring on your own and not always being on someone else's schedule. Today, we're just going to see the different things that we wanted to see in this town of Baños. So first, Rachel wants an empanada, if you didn't catch that. But first things first, we're going to the Pylon del Diablo, this thing, which is like one of the coolest things you gotta see here in Baños. It's a massive waterfall. So we just got to a viewpoint in the jungle here, and you can see the waterfall across the canyon. I mean, it's not close at all. I'm kind of curious how all these people are doing this. This is actually like a legit hike to get down into this canyon, cross some bridges, and then you get to the waterfall. It's gonna take a little bit. All right, so we just got into the entrance of the Diablo, which is $1.50 a person, and you get to go hike through and explore. Everything here is super cheap in this country. Like all these types of things, it's always like $1 or $2 is all. It's nice not paying like extremely high prices, like 20, 30 bucks to go walk to this waterfall. It's $1.50. You can probably hear it. It's not a small waterfall, I'll tell you that.
climbing through this cave. An even smaller hole here.
This is how you get behind the waterfall.
It's Saturday, so it is definitely crazy here. Trying to get some cool photos, but there's so many people. This is rad. I've never seen a waterfall like this. It's so big. All right, definitely a must-see when you come here, but don't go on the weekends. Do not go on the weekends. This is crazy. I have a headache because it's just so, it's dealing with all these people running around and it's a lot. Definitely come to Baños during the week to see these kind of things. I bet you the swing that we saw last night is probably just jam-packed because yesterday it was bad, but not Saturday bad. Maybe we can find a clear spot and see a little bit better and have a little bit of chill, relax time. So we kept seeing these canopy tours going across the canyon here. So we stopped and I'm gonna do one. This is gonna be crazy. This was a whole $10 and I'm gonna be flipping around as I cross this canyon. Well, what's up, Pero? Wow. What? Feet?
So after flying through the air like a monkey to the other side of the canyon, there's one issue. We're on the other side of the canyon. So we had to take this special little cart and take it back to the other side. This in itself was probably just as much of a thrill ride as hanging upside down and flying across this.
How was it?
That was insane. $10. That's it. $10 to go flying across the canopy. If you're in the US, could you imagine what the cost is? Also, the safety. I mean, it was safe, but like he had me hooked up to the rope and just kind of let me stand there. If I slipped, I would have been going. It's kind of insane.
Not
You doing
really.
it?
No.
So we're back in town, done with the adventure activities for the day. Now we're just kind of exploring, looking for some things like ponchos and alpaca things and all that good stuff. There's a lot of shops down here and we haven't actually been in town during the day, so we haven't been able to see any of them. That was like, so that is cuy, which is, it's a common delicacy here in Ecuador, which is guinea pig. I mean, those are really big guinea pigs though. It was like teeth and all. I don't know, I just ate, so I don't think I'm gonna try some cuy, but still here a couple more days. Maybe I'll try it at some point. All right, and now it started raining, so we gotta go find something else to do. Can't do anything.
Get your nails done.
We're gonna go get our nails done. I think that's the plan. It's so cheap. Nails, massage.
Yay.
There's a restaurant where you can just chill with like couch cushions on the ground, you take your shoes off, that whole kind of thing. I don't know. We're just gonna go relax. We're exhausted for some reason. Maybe it's because I flew over that canyon. So we're right across from the hot springs. The line is out of control. I mean, we've been here for the last few days and apparently everyone wants to go to the hot springs.
Everyone has floaties and they go into the hot springs with floaties. All right, let's go get our nails done, Rach.
So I took one of my other cameras out for the rest of the night, and I had a major issue with the audio, so I have no audio from the rest of the night. However, we just walked around town some more, got to see what else was going on. On Saturday nights, it's crazy all over town. They have these party buses and Fred Flintstone party trains going everywhere. It was really weird. Not really sure how they work, if you jump on, jump off. They just kind of cruised around. It was very odd. While wandering the streets, we found a stray dog that seemed to like Rachel, so we hung out with it for a little bit, and it wanted to do some tricks for us. After this, we kept seeing this stray dog everywhere around town. It's pretty funny. All in all, it was a great day. The Diablo was so cool to see. Flying around like a monkey was awesome. Baños is just one of those towns where there's so much to do and see. And the last thing we do every night when we're in Baños is we go to the brewery and we get a beer from our friend Seth. Tomorrow's video will be something a little different. We did a little mini documentary with Seth, and I'm going to give you guys a little look into behind the scenes and some of the other stuff we did on that day. And guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
What is up, guys? Good morning. It's actually afternoon. It's late afternoon. We've been spending all morning working on a documentary that we're shooting down here, so here, I'll play a little sample now.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
So today we're making a batch of passion fruit wheat at Ales Iron Brewery.
So we met Seth one night when we were grabbing beers, and after hanging out and chatting with him for a bit, we realized that we wanted to tell his story. So he agreed to come on camera, give us a little behind-the-scenes look at his life, his brewery, and paint the picture of what it's like to be a beer brewer in Baños, Ecuador.
This is the mill. It's just a simple two-roller mill. You basically, Edison, help me. Ayúdame a abrir el saco. Vamos a poner un poco de aquí para mostrar cómo se puede.
So Seth took over this brewery that used to be in a different town, and he brought it here to Baños. And the entire brewery is run by him and one other guy. And basically between the two of them, they brew his beer, they have a bunch of different flavors and types of beer, and he does it all in this one small area. It's pretty cool to see the entire process from beginning to end. He walked us through every bit, and we really got a glimpse into what it's like being a beer brewer in a small town. So this is considered a nano brewery, and that's because it's not even big enough to be a microbrewery. It's so small, it's on the level of a nano brewery, which means he doesn't produce that much beer. It's just for his bar and the different businesses that buy from him in this town.
Here, this is the bottling side, and also like my mini storage for my malts and bottles. We use the hand system. We have a tank with hand valves. We'll take a new bottle and just fill it up to about 1 inch below the top. So then when it gets in here, it's gonna ferment a little bit more. It's gonna produce a head of CO2, and the CO2 will be absorbed by the liquid in the bottle.
If you're in this town, I highly suggest you seek him out, find his beer, because it's super tasty and you're not gonna be able to find it anywhere else. If you do go there, make sure you find Seth and tell him we say hello.
So did you get this made?
Yeah, I made this. I designed this all. Like I seen an idea in English, and I converted it into my Spanish version. And basically, it says process to obtain the beer.
So when we're shooting a documentary like this, there's not really a straight direction of what we wanted to do. So we sat down, we did an interview with Seth. He showed us the entire beer brewing process that he goes through. And then from the interview and just hanging out with him for the day, we started to get more of his story, and he took us to his farm, which gave us even more insight into what life is like here in Baños.
There's not too much to learn, you know? You just gotta go with the flow. And luckily, I have a benefit of having my partner. All this was already built. All I had to do was like buy the bedding, and all that was already here. It was real awesome and easy for me. So we have 20 now, and we're gonna get 20 more in another week. Each one costs $12. but when they're fully grown in 6 months, like ready for Thanksgiving, they'll be about $70 a piece.
$10.
Huh?
$10.
$10.
$10.
And cuando cocido?
Cocido cuesta $20.
Yeah, $20 cooked,
He's
$10
bunny.
alive.
So if you're interested in Seth's story, go check out the mini doc that we put together. The link will be in the description, and you'll get to see how we took all of this and made it into a short story that I think you guys will really enjoy.
Now we are gonna go for a hike. We originally planned to go hiking this morning, but then we were shooting that documentary. Kind of took all day, which was actually cool because we got to see a little snippet of some Ecuadorian culture, you know, life outside of the things that you normally get to see when you travel a place. Going and seeing that guy's farm, you know, Seth has a plot on that farm and he works with that guy. It's really cool. It was a really cool thing to see and experience. So we have about 3 hours left to sun. We're gonna go for a hike. There's this hike that goes straight up one of these cliffs. So we're gonna go try and find that. Maybe we'll see the sunset from the ridgeline. We've had like perfect weather all day, and now it started pouring. So I don't know if we're gonna hike anymore. We can see the staircase up on the ridgeline. It's this cool hike that takes you way up, and yeah, there's people definitely sprinting down, which is probably not a good sign. Probably means it's pretty wet up there.
That's healthy.
It stopped raining. Got a taxi out of town back up here. We're out of breath after like 15 steps, but this is a hike. Everyone says it's a hike, but it's more of a stair climb. We're hiking up to, is it the Virgin Mary? I think we're hiking up to a Virgin Mary, but we got a lot of stairs between us and that. This is crazy. This staircase just never ends. We're just basically following the ridgeline somewhere all the way up to the summit. Whew. Talk about a hike. This would have been really cool to do the first day because you really get to see the city. Like its whole layout and all that. All right, we made it to the top. Well, not the top. The top is up there, and there's a giant swing up there. So from here, you can see all of Baños. And you can see that it's this little town just nestled in the hills. There's really not much more it can expand. It's at its limit, but it's a cool spot for sure. Made it to the top. A lot easier coming down than going up for sure. Like going down, it went really fast, whereas going up was just, that was brutal. But our last night here was a great ending to the afternoon, evening. To see the town from above like that, it's a really cool spot for sure. I wish we could have done the whole hike. The whole hike takes you all the way around these hills, back to where we started. It's actually a loop. We just went out and back, but the staircase was rad. So last night here, probably gonna go enjoy a beverage with our buddy Seth at his bar, and then pack up and get ready to leave because tomorrow morning we are driving to Quito and then jumping on a flight tomorrow at midnight. So it's gonna be a long day tomorrow.
I really got sick and tired of living up to the Joneses, the best way to say it. You know, I lived in California where a lot of people have money. Everyone wants the nice new car. Everyone wants a beautiful $1 million house. And you can work your ass off 7 days a week and make $100,000 a year. But at the end of the day, you're still just trying to keep up with the stereotype of where you need to be monetarily. Hey, how's it going? My name's Seth. We're in Baños de Agua Santa, Ecuador, and we're in my nano brewery called Ale's Heart. Els Art actually was started 5 years ago, and I took over a year and a half ago. When I took over, the brewery was in La Tacunga, which is an hour and a half from here. After 6 months, I told the owner, I said, look, you want me to stay the head brewer? You gotta bring the equipment to Baños. And that was the best decision we've ever made. In the US, you know, where I'm from, we have so much variety of good craft beer. When I got here a couple of years ago, there was like you could not go into a store and buy anything other than the 2 commercial beers, which is Pilsner and Club. I decided, I said, look, you know, there's an opening. There's a big space that needs to be filled. That's why I started. I think I've introduced craft beer to over 100 Ecuadorians. Introduced, like first time trying a craft beer. This is a chocolate stout.
Try it.
Ayer puse el chocolate, entonces va a salir con bastante chocolate. This beer hasn't been cleared yet. We just put the chocolate in yesterday, so it's like chocolate milk. So Baños is a little town nestled in the skirt of a mountain right below a volcano called Tungurahua. I think most people come here for the tranquility and for the nature. That's the main things, you know? Waterfalls, biking, paragliding, rock climbing. People here 40 years ago, they were surviving off of agriculture. And you can grow anything around here in Baños. Me too, you know, I'm getting into agriculture now. I'm raising pigs and turkeys and chickens. I got all of it. For me, a lot of people will like judge, you know, oh man, this is dirty, or this is they're poor, or something like that. What they don't understand is that these people have some of the best, most relaxed type of life I've ever experienced. And they're happy, and they don't have a lot of money. So what's that tell you? I moved out of the country because I realized that I don't really love the government, and I don't like the restrictions they put on us as far as like, oh, you can't put this into your body, you can't do this, you can't do this. You know, it's very strict. Our country's so strict, and you don't need to live up to the Joneses. You don't need to be rich, and you can live in a peaceful way with everyone else, you know? I really didn't want to raise my kid in the US. This town is the safest town I've ever lived in my life, and that's including 25 years in the US. I've never lived in a town I felt more safe. That's my #1 reason I came here. I have a kid. I want to raise a family. I want a safe place to do it. Baños is the #1. Here's a great place to start this type of business, and it's not for the money. It's because I love making beer.
Hey guys, what is going on?
Day 11.
Day 11. We've been here a while.
It's our
but
last day. We're leaving tonight at 11:30. So we just dropped
actually
our stuff
the
off
afternoon.
Oh.
Yeah. We drove all the way from Baños to get to Quito. So now we got back to Quito.
Dropped our bags off at the first hotel that we stayed at.
It's a good spot.
Because it's too crazy to drive around here.
It's insane
we have
around
our
here.
bags because we love that hotel.
And
now we're on a walking tour.
Right now we're on a walking tour around the old city, see some awesome sights. Guys, we're gonna take you along for the ride so you get to see Quito, a city that you guys should probably check out. Ecuador's pretty awesome.
First stop is the Central Market here in Old Town. It's open from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. A bunch of restaurants and stores around here, but they also close when this closes. So this is where you get your fruit, your veggies, and we're about to see what else.
This area down here is like the breakfast area. We were just told that one of the delicacies is cow hoof soup, where you boil a cow hoof with some other things. I don't think we'll be trying that one.
Total lavaca. All of the cow.
They use all the cow, every bit of the cow here in Ecuador. I mean, it's a good thing. You should probably use every bit of whatever it is that you're eating, but still, don't think I'll do cow hoof soup. So up here in the second layer of the market, we have like the fruits and a bunch of other places to eat some food, a bunch of juices. Just found out that a lot of Ecuadorians, they love sugar, so everything seems to have sugar added to it. We're looking at all these juices and they just add sugar to everything. So that's a cultural thing here in Ecuador. They love adding sugar. All right, from the market, we're gonna walk about 8 blocks and we're gonna work our way into the old city. We're going to like the main plaza area. It's a good place to start, a good place to check out. So this whole Old Town District area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which basically means that they can't be removing the buildings, they can't change the architecture. They have to keep the same old Spanish style that was here from the old colonial days. So you get this really cool old town for sure. We're gonna walk this way towards the big statue you see up on the hill, kind of explore some sites along the way. See behind me, biggest old churches. Pretty amazing. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to see that today, because it closes at 5, but that church, it's $2 entrance fee. You wanna go check it out, and you can climb to the top of those towers and see all of Old Town from the top of the towers. So definitely one of them to check out. So throughout the Old Town, they have these plazas, which are kind of inside. I don't know, it's really cool. I would never have known this was here if I hadn't done this walking tour. But basically, a bunch of different shops, some fancy restaurants. We're going to the main plaza right now. From this, it's just right out here. So if you've been following our Ecuador vlogs, we actually were here a week and a half ago. We were here at night and this place was completely dead and empty. During the day, very busy. And on certain days of the week, you might get a chance to see the president come out and wave actually, which is pretty cool that he does that for the country. Much more active during the day for sure. This is like the main central plaza. This is also known as the Plaza of the Old People, or the Plaza of the Retired, because there's lots of retired people hanging out here.
A couple things about this. These two corners are run by the government, these two by the church.
Okay.
This is their monument of independence, which they gained in 1809.
Kind of, because then the Spanish came back and took back over, and then like a couple years later they had another independence and they had a big fight up in the hills where we were hiking with the horses. They had a fight up there, and apparently, you know, Ecuadorians had a little bit more of an advantage because they're a little bit more acclimated to that altitude. So that's when they broke from the Spaniards and became Colombia, which is the Great Colombia, which is Colombia, Panama, Venezuela. And this plaque is where they started the first, get off the grass. This is where it shows that this was the place where they started the first expedition into the Amazon.
Ecuador was the country that first started to explore the Amazon.
But the whole expedition started here in Quito before they went off into the Amazon. So we just left the main plaza. We're walking up the street to one of the oldest and most important churches of Ecuador, Quito, this whole area. We just learned a lot about the different political atmosphere here in Ecuador. The last president ruled for 10 years, 3 different terms, and now there's the new president that just was elected a few months ago. But it's very interesting to hear about the different presidencies from like 1800s till now, and kind of how the whole political structure of this country has been shaping. I'm not going to regurgitate much of that. If you're here in Quito, you definitely come check it out, and you can learn a lot just doing one of these tours.
This church is the one that has all the gold in it, and to go in there it's $5 and you can't even take photos. The only way to get it for free is if you go to a mass, but you have to stay for the entire mass.
Quito is the second UNESCO World Heritage Site that was named. Krakow, Poland was the first. This church is one of, is a prime example of why it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. If you take a photo, they've been known to take your camera, take the memory card out, erase the memory card, and then kick you out. So this area here used to be where all the thieves would sell black market goods, and now it's like a plaza with, stage and some stuff, and they do some community events. But if you want to climb up there and see the views of the north and the south and all that, it's recommended that you take a taxi, because apparently there's like a little green patch where the stairs go up. That's where the thieves, if there's no guards hanging out, the thieves will do bad things, and there's actually a chance of that happening here in the city. So just be careful when you're traveling here. As always, when you're in big cities, it's not always the safest. All right, next we're headed down to what's considered the Bohemia part of this town. So we ended our walking tour here at a theater. It's pretty upsetting because there used to be a Pizza Hut over here, and the Pizza Hut caught fire, and there goes the theater. So they haven't restored it yet. Pretty unfortunate. It's a really cool theater. But now it's time for some coffee. All right, so our walking tour is done. Guys, if you're coming to Quito, I would highly suggest taking a free walking tour. It's pretty awesome. Well, I'll put a link in the description below, but take the free Ecuador Quito walking tour. There's a few of them, but this one we highly recommend. If Obi's here, maybe you get a tour with him. He was pretty cool. He gave us a great tour. It's a great way to see the city and learn about the culture right as soon as you get here. Should have done this first, not last, but it was still really good to do. And definitely, next time we end up back in Quito, we're gonna obviously know a lot more from this. All right, we're gonna go do a little bit more exploring around the old town, and then get on flight. So we wanted to come check out this plaza a little bit more. This was really cool. I know we breezed through so fast, and this is like such a cool area to explore. Yeah, I mean, you want to go up and look at it? So another interesting fact about this part of the city is that all the signs are just skinny black lettering on the buildings because they don't want to have big banners that ruin the Spanish architecture and the look of the city. So they have very thin letter black writing, and that's it. All right, so the last part of our walking tour of Quito, we're gonna try to get up to the big church at the top of the hill. So we're gonna hike up there, and then catch a taxi from there to get back to where our stuff is. All right, so we missed it. This place closes at 5, so we can't check it out, but it's pretty cool to see the outside. It's a massive church. The architecture is amazing. If you get here when they're open, you get to climb to the top of the towers and see an awesome view of the city. All right, we saw the city. We saw as much as we could in the day. Boom, 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 we got a lot done. But now it is time for maybe some tacos. I think tacos would be great.